Alright folks, Dustin here, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to be filming a round at a temporary course that has been installed at the University of Mobile to serve as the second course for the upcoming Ram Jam Classic. Now the point of the Ram Jam Classic is to be a fundraiser event to help make improvements to the main course here at the University of Mobile, but to also eventually install a permanent second course on campus. Now this temporary course will feature a few of the holes that are kind of in the works to be a part of that second course, but a lot of it is just temporary, just to have a second course for the tournament. And so I wanted to put a video out mostly for locals who are going to be playing this tournament in case they don't get a chance to come out here to see this course. I wanted something to be out there. And for everyone else who's watching this video, you just get to be entertained or not by me playing this temporary course. But I won't be alone. Joining me will be Mr. Matt Gibbons, who you have seen on this channel many times, helping me do disc reviews as well as a few other videos. And so he'll be here serving as the pro and I'll be the am. There are a few short tees on this temporary course. I think only 3 holes are that way, but everything else is pretty straightforward. All right, so real quick, for the Ram Jam Classic, when you're playing the normal OG course for the University of Mobile, the layout will play exactly the same as always. The only difference will be is after you play hole 15, instead of going to hole 16, you'll progress immediately to hole 17, which will be 16 on the layout for the tournament. When you're done here, if you head down left, you'll see a stake and 2 white flags. That's going to be a temporary hole. That will be the hole 17 for the normal course layout. Then it'll progress to 18 as normal, and that is the only change that exists on the original course. Everything else is directed towards the secondary course, which we're going to talk about. All right, folks, so remember, after you play normal hole 15 on the course, you proceed straight to 17. That will be hole 16 on the layout for the OG course. Then you come to this area that I showed you earlier, which is a temporary hole between 17 and 18, which will serve as hole 17 on the layout. I think I didn't screw up the numbers there. Perfect.
You got it right. It's just confusing. It's like right at 240. Pretty tight fairway. There's a drop off on the left. Kind of a low ceiling. So definitely a low ceiling. Looks like it's a kind of forward pushing pitch forehand, or maybe a higher backhand turnover. We'll try both.
Or maybe a giant overhand throw, like the person who designed it. Oh, I like that. Get in there. Oh my God, tree nide. Just straight tree nide.
I mean, whatever you decide to do, either way, you got to hit that gap.
And so here's the basket from the fairway, right there past that tree. That's the tree that he caught. That tree is circle 1 though, so if you hit that, you're good. But anyway, that's the one temporary hole that you have to worry about for the main course. Now we'll head on over to the temporary course and show you the full 18 that is on the other side of the property.
All right, so hole 1, right in front of you, 223 feet according to the rangefinder. From what I understand with this whole course, the only out of bounds is going to be any of the roads, and then if there is water, I don't think there is water. Basically, anything that isn't a road is fine. So,
You gotta be on grass.
Yeah.
No curb leaning.
No curbs. There is a gravel parking lot on some hole. There is one hole that it will be in bounds, and then any sidewalks, if there are some, they're gonna be fine. So really just don't go in the road, is what I understand.
Facts.
We're gonna go over stable putter for the first shot.
Yeah, so this one you have OB Road right, and there's a parking lot left. So it's kind of like a decently thin fairway.
That's fine. We're gonna go 2 off the top because that's how we do it here.
Oh, okay. Also, this is our first time seeing the course as well, so bear with us, but we just wanted to get something out for y'all. First ace, that was good. I mean, we would technically be the first people to ace this course if one of us happened to ace this.
I mean, we might be the first people to actually play the full course.
It is. It actually, we got here at 9-ish in the morning. It got finished getting installed at 8 in the morning on the Thursday before the tournament. So, yes, I think we are the first, besides maybe the TDs, Josh Hollingsworth, Logan Moore. Shout out to those 2 guys.
skip, roll, maybe. That's why we got 2.
So today I learned that that disc is not as overstable as I thought it was. Wait. Oh, it's right here on the ground. So maybe do that same thing, but just a touch of hyzer.
There you go.
A little short, but all good. All right, so, you know, our first example of a judgment call that we're going to go ahead and tell you is that over here, there's the basket, past Mac. That first disc I threw is in the curb, so that would be out of bounds. It starts literally, if I had been a foot shorter, I'd be in bounds, you know? Yeah. So, things you hate to see.
And to note, every hole is going to have arrows to the next hole. So just look on the grounds if you're confused on where to go.
Yes, white arrow right there, pointing straight ahead. But Mac's disc, you know, being the pro that he is, very good. The second one I kind of babied it. It's a little short, but still circle 1. So there is your look at hole number 1. A shorty, but, you know, some OB to keep you thinking.
Okay, hole 2, we've got a dead straight tunnel shot. We do have a mando on this first tree on the right, so got to go left of that. If you do miss the mando, proceed to the short tee. This back tee, we range found it at 420 feet, and the short tee is right around 315, 320. So yeah, just don't miss the mando. Throw a really straight shot. It's easy enough, right?
So basically the short tee is the drop zone, and the short tee will be used by, I think, MA3, MA4, and maybe some of the female amateur divisions, and I'm not sure. Just check your tournament sheet. This is one of only 3 short tees on the course, though.
It'll overturn. That's okay.
All right, so this is the short tee. It's 320 feet. It opens up right after the tee pad, so there is kind of the dead shot straight away that you can go for, but it is a low ceiling. There's also, like, you can't really see it from the camera, but once you get out of this gap, wide left and wide right, there are some options for some different, like, forehand or backhand hyzer plays, or maybe even like a straight forehand up the left side. But those gaps are also relatively the same size as the one straight ahead of you, so it's really kind of dealer's choice on whether or not you want to just try to pipe one up the middle and contend that low ceiling, or if you want to try to, you know, go through one of the smaller gaps on the left or right hand side of the fairway. I felt that was a good shot. I just, you know, got right by the ceiling.
Yeah.
That ceiling is tough. Like, you really got to keep it like super centered or, you know, pretty low. Like I said, there's a couple of gaps out left and right, so I'm gonna kind of experiment with those real quick. And there's just trees everywhere.
Right.
That was another shot that didn't feel bad, but it's not quite it. So here's where my drives landed, the backhand and the first forehand I threw. Relatively easy up shots to get up and down for par. You definitely have to have a really pure shot to have a chance at getting up there to putt for a birdie, especially from the long tee. Long tee, you don't really have many options. Pretty much you just got to go straight up the middle. From the short tee, again, you have some different options. So just kind of make sure that you go to the front of the tee pad, kind of look around, see what gap you like best, and just try to hit it. And chances are, if you can at least make a couple 100 feet of progress up the fairway, you'll have an upshot to get your par at worst. All right, folks, so this is hole 3. It's the same tee for everyone. Again, there's only 3 holes with short tees. We'll let you know when they come up. This is 340 feet. It's dead straight ahead. Definitely, though, got to pick and choose your gap on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to try backhand just up the middle. Try and hit the gap. If it goes through to the left a little bit, whatever. Just try and get in the putt.
Yeah. Yeah, ideally, I think, I don't know, maybe Mac will agree or disagree with me, but I think if you throw something straight that turns off that pond and then eventually pans back out is probably the safest play. Or he's talking about doing a flex forehand, but we'll see.
Probably going to embarrass himself.
There's definitely a wide left gap. That was good.
Not what I was trying to do and way short. So. I mean, it's right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't turn as much right as I wanted to, but. So Mac went with the big hyzer play, which you probably didn't get to see any of until just now when it landed. And again, it's just hard to get. It's like, it's just far enough to be really difficult to try to get forward and left enough if you're trying to take the wide hyzer out.
I think it's more uphill than it looks.
That too. I think this does play uphill a decent bit. So it probably plays closer to like 350, 360. I think the up the gut shot is the play and just hope you get through. It's like you kind of have to play for like the 40 footer or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you can park it, good on you, you deserve it.
So here's where our shots up the middle kind of landed. Definitely forms to a bit more of a tighter tunnel as you approach the green. This left side is really blocked. Is the only thing about trying to throw anything left-hand side. There's a lot of trees that block the left-hand side. The right side is definitely more open for scrambling. So I think if you're gonna miss, you wanna miss right. But keeping it as straight as possible is probably ideal. And yeah, after you're done at hole 3, after Mac just sunk a nasty circle 2-putt, you just head to your right to get to the next tee pad. But again, there's arrows on the ground, so just remember that. Also, I didn't say this before, but hole 2 is basically straight on ahead from hole 1's basket, so pretty easy to follow. All right, so now we're at hole 4. Basket is tucked into those trees to the right side of the center of the screen. There's a really wide open left-hand lane, as you can see, which plays for like the lefty backhand or the forehand. But there's definitely some options to throw a backhand like wide right and have him hyzer in. Plays downhill as well, so even though the literal distance is 272, I'd say it probably plays a little closer to 260, 250. So just kind of keep that in mind. Perfect gap hit there from Mac. A little ground action, that's a circle 1.
Oh, that is deep. Right there, back in the circle.
Oh, that was actually closer. Try to go that wide right gap.
I didn't try to.
Okay.
I did.
You should have said, yeah, I'm experimenting. Gotta experiment. New hole. Little down tempo explorer. Good. Good. Oh, what the heck?
That's good.
Still good. Still decent. So yeah, you come back through after you play hole 4. You're gonna kind of walk back past 3's tee pad. You're also gonna walk past hole 16's tee, so we'll save that for later. And then eventually you get to hole 5's tee.
All right, hole 5. It's a pretty much going left the whole way kind of shot. Probably, I don't have the exact distance, probably plays about 370. Straight line, it's a lot shorter, but it's really tucked up to the left. So I'm thinking the play is probably some sort of high hyzer. And if you got the distance, try and get it there. If not, it's probably going to be a 3 for you, at least.
If you do not have the distance, miss right. I'll tell you that now. It is really thick on the left if like you go early inside.
Yeah. So we're gonna go distance driver and go pretty high hyzer.
It's probably decent. There are a lot of guardian trees on the green though, so it's tough to get clean.
So it dropped too far. I pushed it too far and hit the trees, and it dropped pretty far right of it.
Yeah, there's definitely some decent guardian trees that block this one. For me, I don't have the distance, but I'm still gonna throw as far as I can. I'm kind of using the bush in the center as kind of like my aiming point. If I can kind of fly over the top of that, that keeps me right enough, and hopefully it'll give me something. Yep. That's all I can really hope for on this hole, I think. All right, so I'm at up the fairway, not quite pin high, but pointing left towards the green. Again, it's a blind shot from the tee, so this kind of gives you a view of the green. Definitely some guardian trees kind of guarding the circle. My disc still landed perfectly straight on with the basket, probably like an 100-foot approach shot to get my par. And Mac's second one, the Glozari threw, really good position. The first one he threw just caught one of these trees on the right-hand side, kind of bounced back and rolled backwards. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things you have to have the distance on a power hyzer to really attack the green. But if you have amateur distance, you can still put yourself in a good position to at least guarantee your par. So test your luck and see what happens. So hole 6's tee is basically just right next to 5's basket, tucked in the corner. And the basket is basically dead straight ahead, and there's a little bit of a drop off as you approach the green, I guess. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about it?
So I haven't seen the green, but from what it looks like, if you make this initial gap and get to the left side, it looks like it's pretty open, and you're just gonna feel free to skip down towards the basket. So I'm gonna go with a little baby flex forehand. Other lines I'm seeing, you could go wide skip shot over here to the right. You could go a little baby flex up the middle. If you got the forehands or you're a lefty with a backhand, you could go wide left, but then it brings in the other tree line into play. So I don't know, let's do some experimenting.
Yeah, there's definitely some like wooded golf, but like a different kind of wooded golf. Oh, that was sick. That's parked.
Well, that's what I was going for, so just do that.
I wish I could, bro. My forehand's so bleep lately.
Yeah, man, it's fine.
Definitely the gap I was trying to hit. Definitely wasn't the one to the right of that one. I like that. That the baby flex you're talking about? I mean, that sucks it didn't come off that, but
It's just tight.
it's fun because we're trying to film a video for all of you to learn this course, but we're also learning the course in real time. No, I didn't force it over enough. Nope. Yeah, it's still a par though. I mean, that's about as good as I could have thrown it. I'm still probably like 40 left.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the green at 6. As you can see, it continues to slope down like pretty decently, especially like down and left. So I can definitely see some discs getting up and rolling. So that's something you might want to think about, particularly when you're putting, depending on what kind of footing you have. But I mean, the OB is really far away, so you don't have to worry about that necessarily. But you could have some nasty rollaways here. Just wanted to point that out and just kind of show you how the green slopes. But now we're going to move on to hole 7, which hole 7 is an island hole, I believe, and it does have a short tee, and the short tee also serves as a drop zone. So we'll go check that out now. Also want to note that that forehand I threw actually was skipped into edge of C1, that wide left forehand. And these woods left definitely come into play off the tee if you hyzer out on a backhand. Gravity can really pull your backhands left into these woods and make your scrambling pretty tough. So honestly, missing short is probably the miss, just to make sure you don't get stuck in that junk and you basically have to waste a shot just to pitch out the safe bogey. And yeah, other than that, let's move on. All right, so after hole 6, you're going to walk around this corner here to your left, up that direction, and that'll take you to the next tee for 7.
All right, hole 7, it's a bit of a doozy. From the back tee, it's 371. Island green. If you miss the islands on your shot from back here, you proceed to the short tee to start from that. If you miss from there, you're gonna go to the drop zone up by the island. And then I believe it's regular OB rules from there. All the other divisions that are playing short tees, you're gonna just start from the short pad, and then the same succession goes from there. So we're gonna wait for these people to clear out of the way. This shouldn't be an issue because there's not classes on Saturdays, right? So, but we're gonna wait. I'm gonna see if I can't stick this island.
This is definitely a toughie. 370 island ain't no joke. How big do you think the island is?
It looks pretty sizable.
Like circle 2, maybe even bigger than circle 2, probably.
I don't know if it's bigger than circle 2, but
I think the left side of the island definitely sticks out more than the right side. So that's, I guess, the miss, quote unquote, is the highs are out more. But make sure you take it wide. I think Matt's gonna like that. I mean, he almost aced it, so.
I think that's parked.
It's definitely parked. That's when you just walk away in practice, guys. You don't even take a second shot. You just walk away.
There's no need, just do that.
Yeah. All right, so from the short pad, it is 252 to the pin, but it's only about 215 feet to make the island. This also serves as the first drop zone if you go OB off the tee from the long pad. You do have the option to lay up, by the way, either from the short tee or the long tee before the island begins, I imagine, short of the drop zone if you want to do that and play it safer. But yeah, just a heads up. That's probably better. Way safer. Oh yeah, we like that. And here's the look from the drop zone. It is 75 feet to the basket from here. So there you go. And then this is like just kind of a better view of the island. Right side of the island, black sign, left side of the island. It's pretty big. It's not quite a perfect circle, but it's definitely a sizable island. Like I would say bigger than circle 2 by a decent little bit. So not too difficult from the short tee, that is. All right, so after you play the island hole, hole 7, you walk towards the green building, the Dwight Harrigan Hall, I think it's called. You just kind of keep walking down here, and you'll find the tee, and we'll show you the rest from there. All right, so now we're at hole 8. You can see the basket through this corner. If you want to try your luck, Godspeed. But it's pretty much a hyzer, kind of over the top of that white SUV. Of course, this area will be closed for the tournament, so there shouldn't be any cars in that parking lot. But yeah, it's basically going to be kind of a blind hyzer shot over the top of those cars you see on the corner. So I think it plays roughly 250.
Probably about. It looks like the hill kind of slopes down. So
it does a little, yeah.
Any hyzers are going to get some right to left ground play.
Yep, for sure. Obviously, parking lot, OB, all that jazz.
That's probably like 25, 30 right of the basket.
What are the odds to get through that, you think? Like if you just jammed one?
1 in 200.
That you're giving me that good odds? Yeah. 1 in 200?
I think if you are you throwing like a backhand?
Like going straight through the corner.
I'm saying like if you threw like a forehand roller, like had it
up
and down.
I think it's way worse than 1 in 200. I think I would throw 200 shots and never get close.
I think you gave me 200 splices and 200 forehand rollers. I give you one through.
All right. I just pulled that way wider than I wanted to. I don't know. I'm a little timid on practicing more here with these cars right there. That's good. MD5.
Yeah. That one's good.
Yeah, I threw an Iron Samurai the first one. This is a Pyro. Well, go look. I mean, they're all somewhere on the dance floor. And no cars were harmed, so that's a win. So here's the green. Like I said, I pulled my Iron Samurai a little wide, so it's pretty short, but the Pyro I put on the right angle was, you know, like 20 feet, 25 feet. His MD5 was really good. So his A3 also well within circle 1 over there, just short of my Pyro. So, all right, so the tee for hole 9 is basically walking just across the parking lot from hole 8's basket. This is a wooded tunnel shot, straight away, you can see the edge of the basket there just behind those center trees. So we got our first little wooden tunnel. I think you said it's what, 245?
Yeah. And the road, like the whole road to get in here is going to be closed day of, so there won't be any issues with like people being parked here or, you know, people pulling in cars or whatever. So.
That was a great little monologue where people only got to see you from like the nose down. Pretty sick. We're doing a great job filming this, by the way, just, you know, framing things up perfectly. Oh, you peered it. Give it. See what I was doing there? Because he threw a peer. There we go. Tree. I don't care. I hit the gap. If it would have hit that tree, it wouldn't have mattered. All right, so now we're at hole 10. You just walk straight down, basically, from hole 9's basket. You can't really miss it. And it's a little bit of a blind hyzer shot again, sort of. You can kind of see the basket, like right through this corner. I guess you can't really see it the way I'm filming. You see some blue, all right? Just trust me, it's a basket. It's the best I can do, okay? And yeah, you're basically just trying to hit this gap to the right-hand side and then swing it in. All right, so here's the green of the hole that we just played. Again, this whole rocky area is not out of bounds or anything like that. It's just the roadway over there that's out of bounds. And we both put it well within circle 1 off the tee, so cool stuff.
Hole 11, it's 368 feet from the long tee, probably about 250 from the short tee. From the long tee, any out of bounds off the tee goes to the short tee as your drop zone, and I guess it's just out of bounds rules from the short tee.
Correct. I kind of zoomed in on the basket there. It's semi-blind from the tee, but it's really just about, you know, pushing something over the road and hyzering in.
Yeah, I mean, take a step into the road and you can see the basket. But really, you just want to throw a hyzer into it. You can play the skip off the road, but the curb does kind of come up, so you're really just kind of playing with fate on that one. We're going to throw basically the exact same shot we threw for the island hole. Maybe just a touch softer.
Does have a similar vibe, yeah, for sure, to hole 7.
Right into the curve.
Oh.
No, it's fine.
It's perfect. What do you mean? All right, so now we're at the short tee of hole 11. This is where certain pools will start from, but it's also the drop zone if you go OB from the long tee, if your pool plays from there. It's about 265, and yeah, that basket is perched up on a slope, like on the left-hand side, so you could have a downhill death putt depending on how much you hyzer in, or you might have like an uphill roll-away wrist putt, I guess, if you're like low ground. So, yeah. That's way too wide.
No, that's good. Oh, never mind.
All right, so now we're at hole 12. To get to this tee, you just walk across the street from the previous basket, hole 11. So there it is over there, right past Mac. It is on kind of a slope like we were talking about. You just walk across the street, hole 12. A little bit of a slight tunnel shot, low ceiling on the left side of the fairway. And it plays 272, I think Max said.
Yeah, it looks like there's probably 25, 30 feet of clearance before the road behind it. Pretty much just a straight shot that finishes to the left.
Yeah.
Would be good.
You definitely want to kind of keep it right side of the fairway. So if Max stands out the way for a second, you see those 2 pines that are like right next to each other with a bush to the right of those. That's kind of your aiming point, I think. To stay away from the low ceiling left. C1.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's better.
All right, so after you're done at hole 12, to get to hole 13's tee, you're going to walk back up across the street, and you're going to go up a hill to your left. All right, so we're at hole 13. Again, you kind of walk slightly uphill through that little corner I was pointing at on the last shot you saw. So it's a downhill tunnel shot, again, 232. Probably plays a little less net because it does go downhill. I will say that as we are playing it right now, this is not finished from what Josh Hollingsworth told me. Because he basically put the baskets down literally an hour before we got here to film this video. And even he mentioned there's a few limbs he wants to trim to kind of make this tunnel a little bit cleaner. So maybe like this first one to the right off the tee, and there's probably a couple like further down you might want to clean up a little bit. So it probably will look a little bit more open tournament day compared to how it looks for us right now. But yeah, this is a shot. Yeah, enjoy the art. Do I say it?
You see that?
Oh, I was gonna say it, make another pure joke, but I feel like I've beaten that one. I will say also on this hole, I don't know how much it would come into play, but the OB road deep of the basket's not that far from the basket, so I think there is like potential to overshoot it.
I think it is in play. That's why I threw standstill.
Yeah, I think you could definitely boost one by accident just with how downhill it plays. If you get clean through the tunnel, definitely could wind up.
I think it's probably at most 20 feet behind the
Yeah,
basket.
it's not far at all, bro. That's not it.
I don't know about that.
I had to try. I thought it looked funny, but I stink, so I'm going to probably bogey this hole. All right, so now we're at hole 14, which is just right across the street from the basket of hole 13. This is 354 feet. You can see the basket pretty much dead straight ahead through all these trees right there, kind of right at the center of the screen. So there's all kinds of routes, but it seems like a wide right or wide left's probably the two safest ones.
Yeah.
Up the middle seems tragic.
We'll try right, yeah.
There it is. That's still way short, but that's an easy par probably. That's really all I'm looking for at 352 with this much congestion. Oh, he puts it up the middle. What? That's the best shot this hole will ever see.
I feel like if you're gonna miss anywhere, you should miss right though.
Yeah.
You miss left, you got a bunch of trees. You could potentially make a mistake and hit.
Yeah, we'll see what's up there. All right, so we're a little bit further up the fairway on 14. As you can see, the left side's a lot more congested. Missing right, probably your better play. It's a lot more open over there, a lot more space to scramble. So maybe keep that in mind as you're playing the hole, but we're about to move on to hole 15. Getting close to being done.
All right, hole 15, 283, pretty much right in front of you. Fairway starts a little bit right of the basket, so you kind of want to have something that pushes straight, finishes left, or pushes slightly left right out of your hand and then finishes straight, so maybe like a flip up. You could also do like a drifting forehand, so a lot of ways to attack it. Really, in the day, you're just trying to go straight. Right into that tree.
That is the tree that blocks like the path you want to take.
It's inside of it.
I hit the other one. We got them both, bro.
There is road behind. I don't think it's super close. So
Yeah, it's not crazy close. I don't think it comes into
just
play.
don't flow like 80 feet past them. You should be fine.
Yeah, just don't be a behemoth.
Hate that.
I was so lucky. Okay, so after you play hole 15, you kind of have to backtrack to get to 16's basket that direction, because 16's basket's actually like pretty much right next to 15's basket, just further down the road. So yeah, just kind of head back that direction, you'll find the tee. All right, so now we're at hole 16. You can see that there's a Mando. You have to play left of that tree, and then the basket is to the right over there next to that darker tree. How far is it?
It's only 156 feet, so.
What a bleeping beautiful roll forward. Is this the bloopers part of the video?
Yeah, this hole's so short, it's hard.
It does. I feel like holes like that do get in your head. It's like I'm supposed to get this hole,
Yeah.
and I do think it does put like a little bit of pressure. Also, that pine's like right in my way where I want to throw a forehand. So it does make you think a little bit.
The first one was short, but it's really not that short. That's fine.
All right, we have made it to hole 17 here on the Temp course. It is 315 feet up and to the right. Obviously, you got the road OB left. That's really about it. I imagine that cement ditch in the fairway is not OB. It's just there. Cut that. Nice shot there. All right, let it go early like I've been doing lately. That's par. All right, and so now we are on hole 18 for the temporary course, which is simply just normal hole 16 on the original course. This is the only hole from the OG course that gets used for the temp course. It's like somewhere between 550 and 600 feet. It's a par 4, dog legs to the left. You got the OB right road. If you cut to inside left as well, about halfway up the fairway where you see some of those bushes on the left-hand side, it can definitely kind of get you stuck in jail. So you kind of want to play out to the right-hand side of the fairway, or as I was trying to say, you don't want to cut too far inside left either because it kind of pinches you off. So really just trying to play center cut or to the right side is actually good, but then you bring the road into play the more you try to play the right side. So risk reward. That dude okay?
Good enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like 560. Just start really far and don't go left or right. It's on the left edge.
I'm about to throw about 300 feet shorter than that.
That's about what, ow.
All right, so we're up the fairway a bit, kind of where normal humans land, not Mac, who throws really far. And the basket is basically just right up there. So I would say most of the time, you're probably gonna have, depending on how far you throw it off the tee, anywhere from like a 275 to a 225 foot approach shot. If you throw it really far, maybe you start getting under 200 feet on your approach shot. But it's a par 4, so got a little bit of wiggle room. All right, folks, hope that you found this video helpful if you're playing the Ram Jam Classic to get a feel for the tip course it's going to be for the tournament, in case you don't get a chance to come out here and practice it. Again, we came out here the Thursday before the tournament, an hour after they had put it up, so we got this footage out as quickly as possible to try to help you all out. For those of you who aren't playing the tournament, I hope you at least got to enjoy a cool video of us playing this temporary course. But that's going to do it, really. I hope you folks enjoyed it. Again, if you're not already following, subscribe to the channel, please do. Mac, any shots for yourself?
Yeah, shout out to my sponsors, Discura, Team Finish Line, Tomahawk Dies, and Other Round Disc Golf. And shout out to all of you for watching.
Indeed. See you next time.
Later.